The whisper behind the veil, there are whispers that do not come from the world outside. They emerge from a place deeper than thought, older than memory, more ancient than the very ground beneath your feet. These whispers carry secrets that have been waiting for this moment, waiting for you. You have not arrived here by chance. Nothing in this vast tapestry of existence unfolds without purpose, without meaning, without the gentle hand of something greater, orchestrating each thread. The very fact that these words are reaching you now, that your consciousness has chosen to receive them, speaks to a recognition, a remembering that is already stirring within you. Tonight, as you prepare to journey beyond the boundaries of your waking mind, you are not merely listening to words. You are opening doorways that have always existed within you, pathways carved by the wisdom of countless generations who understood what modern life has taught us to forget. They knew that transformation is not a battle to be won, but a river to be entered. They understood that change flows not from force, but from surrender. Your body already knows how to receive this ancient knowing. Every cell holds the memory of wholeness. Every breath carries the rhythm of infinite possibility. As you settle into this space of deep receptivity, allow yourself to recognize that you are not learning something new. You are remembering something eternal. The subconscious mind, that vast ocean beneath the surface of your daily awareness, speaks in the language of symbol, sensation, and truth that bypasses the analytical mind. It recognizes what resonates with your deepest nature, what aligns with the frequency of your authentic self. This is where real transformation begins, not in the struggle of willpower, but in the gentle acceptance of what you have always been. Let your breathing deepen now. Feel the weight of your physical form as it settles into complete relaxation. The universe has been preparing this moment for lifetimes, weaving circumstances and consciousness together, so that you might remember the power that has never left you. You are both the seeker and the sought, the question and the answer, the wave and the ocean itself. As these words dissolve into the deeper chambers of your awareness, trust in the process that is already unfolding. You do not need to analyze or understand with your thinking mind. You need only to receive, to allow, to become the open vessel through which ancient wisdom flows into modern form. The journey begins not with a step, but with a letting go. The hidden language of creation. In the beginning, before words existed, there was vibration. Before thought took form, there was frequency. Before the mind learned to separate and categorize, there was only the pure resonance of existence expressing itself through infinite variations of the same eternal song. You are not separate from this song. You are not apart from this vibration. Every cell in your body pulses with the same rhythm that set the stars spinning in their courses, that moves the tides in their endless dance, that draws the seasons through their perfect cycles. This is the hidden language of creation, the frequency that speaks not in words, but in the direct transmission of truth from the source of all things to the source of all things within you. Consider the flower that never struggles to bloom. It does not force its petals open through sheer determination or willpower. Instead, it aligns with the natural intelligence that flows through all of life, allowing the sun's warmth and the earth's nourishment to draw forth its perfect expression. The flower knows what you are remembering, that creation is not an act of force but an act of allowance. Your thoughts, your emotions, your very perception of reality operates according to this same principle. Each thought carries a frequency. Each feeling resonates at a particular vibration, and these emanations ripple out into the field of infinite possibility that surrounds and interpenetrates your being. What you focus upon with feeling, what you imbue with the energy of your attention, begins to organize itself in your experience not because you are forcing it to appear, but because you are providing the vibrational match that allows it to manifest. The ancients understood this. They knew that consciousness is not produced by the brain, but flows through it like light through a prism, creating all the colors of experience. They recognize that the external world is not separate from the internal world, but is its reflection, its mirror, its faithful servant responding to the commands issued not by the personality, but by the deeper intelligence that you truly are. As you rest in this moment, feel into the truth of your own creative power, not the power to manipulate or control, but the power to align, to attune, to become so clear in your inner resonance that reality has no choice but to rearrange itself in harmony with your deepest knowing. This is effortless manifestation, not the strain of trying to make something happen, but the grace of allowing what seeks to emerge through you to find its natural expression. Your subconscious mind is listening now, recognizing patterns that your everyday awareness might miss. It understands that every challenge in your life has been an invitation to remember this truth. Every seeming obstacle a doorway leading you back to your own infinite nature. The struggles you have faced were not punishments or mistakes, but the perfect curriculum designed to awaken you to the power that has been yours all along. Feel this knowing settling into the deepest layers of your being. You are not a victim of circumstance, but the conscious creator of your experience. You are not at the mercy of external forces, but the director of the energetic symphony that composes your reality. This is not wishful thinking or fantasy. This is the fundamental truth of how existence operates, and you are remembering it now. The hidden language of creation is being spoken through you in every moment. Your heartbeat is a word in this language. Your breathing a phrase, your very presence a complete sentence in the cosmic conversation that never ends. As you align with this truth, as you allow it to penetrate every corner of your awareness, you become a conscious participant in the greatest mystery of all, the mystery of life creating itself through the unique expression that is you, the frequency of wholeness. Deep within the architecture of your being lies a frequency so pure, so complete, that it knows no separation, no lack, no limitation. This frequency has been playing since the moment you drew your first breath, and it will continue long after your last. It is the frequency of wholeness, the resonant truth of your unbroken nature that exists beyond the temporary experiences of fragmentation that the mind sometimes creates. You have been taught to see yourself as incomplete, as someone who needs to be fixed, healed, or improved. But this teaching comes from a misunderstanding of what you truly are. Beneath the layers of conditioning, beyond the stories you have told yourself about your inadequacies and limitations, there pulses this unwavering frequency that knows you have never been broken, that recognizes you have never been separate from the source of all healing, all wisdom, all love. Imagine a radio that has been tuned to static for so long that it has forgotten it was designed to receive music. The static is not the radio's natural state. It is simply the result of being tuned away from the frequencies that carry the songs. Your experience of suffering, of feeling disconnected or incomplete, is like this static. It is not your true nature. It is simply what happens when your awareness becomes tuned away from the frequency of wholeness that is always broadcasting within you. But here, in this moment of deep receptivity, the tuning dial is being adjusted. Your subconscious mind, freed from the interference of daily concerns and analytical thinking, is naturally gravitating toward its home frequency. Like a river that always flows toward the ocean, your consciousness is returning to its source, the infinite field of wholeness from which it never actually departed. This frequency carries information, not the kind of information that fills your mind with more concepts to understand, but the kind that reorganizes your entire being at the cellular level. It whispers to your DNA, reminding each strand of its perfect blueprint. It flows through your nervous system, restoring patterns of ease and vitality that may have been dormant for years. It permeates your emotional body, dissolving old wounds not by reliving them, but by revealing the wholeness that they could never actually touch. As this frequency of wholeness moves through you now, notice how it requires nothing from you. You do not need to earn it, achieve it, or become worthy of it. It is not a reward for good behavior or spiritual practice. It is your birthright, your natural inheritance, the gift that keeps giving because it never stops flowing. Your only task is to stop interfering with what is already perfect, to cease the mental habits that tune you away from what has always been yours to receive. The body responds to this frequency with profound intelligence. Tension releases not because you are forcing it to relax, but because relaxation is the natural state. When resistance subsides, energy flows more freely, not because you are directing it, but because you are removing the barriers that were never actually there. Healing accelerates not because you are trying to heal, but because health is the default condition when the frequency of wholeness is allowed to express itself without obstruction. Your relationships begin to transform as well, because you stop looking to others to complete what was never incomplete. Your work becomes more fulfilling because you are bringing the frequency of wholeness to everything you touch, rather than seeking fulfillment from external achievements. Your entire life reorganizes itself around this central truth. You are already whole, already complete, already perfect exactly as you are. This is not positive thinking or self-deception. This is the deepest possible recognition of what has always been true. The frequency of wholeness is not something you create. It is something you uncover. It is not something you achieve. It is something you allow, and it is playing through you right now, in this very moment, tuning every aspect of your being back to its original perfection. Feel it now. Feel the truth of your unbroken nature settling into your bones, into your breath, into the quiet spaces between your thoughts. You are not a problem to be solved, but a mystery to be lived. You are not incomplete, but infinite. You are not separate, but whole. The ancient memory awakening. There is a memory older than your personal history, deeper than your individual story, more vast than the lifetime you currently inhabit. This memory belongs not to your mind, but to your essence, the part of you that existed before you learned language, before you developed preferences, before you adopted the beliefs that now shape your daily experience. It is the memory of who you were before you forgot who you are. This ancient memory carries the imprint of your original nature. It remembers when you knew without question that you were connected to everything, that love was not something you had to seek but something you were, that abundance was not something you had to create but something you breathed like air. It holds the blueprint of your authentic self, the version of you that operates from trust instead of fear, from knowing instead of doubt, from being instead of doing. The indigenous peoples of the earth maintained access to this memory through their ceremonies, their connection to the natural world, their understanding that the seen and unseen realms were not separate, but one continuous fabric of existence. They knew that healing did not come from adding something new, but from removing what had never belonged. They understood that wisdom was not accumulated through study, but remembered through stillness. They recognized that power was not taken from others, but accessed from within. You carry the same indigenous knowing in the depths of your being, regardless of your cultural background or personal history. You are the inheritor of this ancient memory because you are human, and to be human is to be connected to the source from which all wisdom springs. The part of you that feels most at peace in nature, that senses the sacred in simple moments, that knows there is more to life than what appears on the surface. This is your ancient memory stirring, seeking to guide you home to yourself. As these words reach you now, that memory is awakening. It recognizes the frequency of truth being spoken, the invitation to remember what it has never forgotten. Your subconscious mind, which operates in symbols and sensations rather than linear thought, is particularly receptive to this ancient knowing because it speaks the same language, the language of direct experience, a felt sense of truth that needs no proof because it proves itself. Feel into the sensation of this memory awakening within you. It might arise as a deep sense of coming home, a recognition that feels both new and utterly familiar. It might manifest as a profound relaxation, as if you are finally laying down a burden you never realized you were carrying. Or it might emerge as a quiet knowing, a certainty that grows from your center outward, informing every cell of your body that you are exactly where you need to be, exactly who you are meant to be. This ancient memory knows that your current challenges are not obstacles to your happiness, but invitations to remember your power. It understands that every period of confusion or difficulty has been preparing you for this moment of awakening, strengthening your capacity to hold more light, more love, more truth than you previously thought possible. What seemed like setbacks were actually setups for the breakthrough that is occurring right now. The memory awakening within you also knows that you do not walk this path alone. You are connected to an invisible network of consciousness that spans time and space, linking you to every soul who has ever chosen growth over comfort, love over fear, truth over illusion. The ancient ones who first discovered these truths are with you now, their wisdom flowing through the same source that flows through you, their courage strengthening your own resolve to live authentically. As this ancient memory fully awakens, it begins to inform your daily life in countless ways. Decisions become easier because you are operating from a deeper knowing rather than surface preferences. Relationships improve because you are no longer seeking from others what you have remembered exists within you. Creativity flows more freely because you are accessing the same source from which all true art, music, and inspiration emerge. You are not becoming someone new. You are remembering who you have always been. The ancient memory awakening within you is not separate from your modern life, but the foundation upon which an authentic modern life can be built. You are the bridge between the wisdom of the ages and the possibilities of today, the living expression of eternal truth taking form in this particular time and place. Let this memory settle into every aspect of your being now. Let it inform your sleeping and your waking, your working and your resting, your speaking and your silence. You are no longer pretending to be someone you are not. You are finally fully, authentically you. The intelligence of effortless flow. Within the very fabric of existence runs a current of intelligence so vast, so perfectly orchestrated, that it maintains the orbits of planets while simultaneously managing the division of cells in your body. This intelligence keeps your heart beating without your conscious attention, grows your hair while you sleep, and heals your cuts without you having to remember how. It is the same intelligence that guides migrating birds across thousands of miles, that knows when to bloom each flower in spring, that coordinates the intricate dance of billions of organisms in a single drop of ocean water. You are not separate from this intelligence. You are an expression of it, a unique manifestation of the same organizing principle that runs the entire universe. Yet somewhere along the way, you learned to believe that you had to figure everything out with your thinking mind, that you had to force outcomes through willpower and struggle, that success and happiness required constant effort and vigilance. This belief has created unnecessary suffering, like trying to swim upstream, in a river that is eager to carry you effortlessly to where you need to go. The intelligence of effortless flow operates according to principles that the mind finds difficult to grasp because they are based on cooperation rather than competition, on allowing rather than controlling, on trusting rather than doubting. This intelligence knows that the seed does not strain to become a tree. It simply follows its inner blueprint and allows the natural forces of growth to express through it. The river does not struggle to reach the ocean. It surrenders to the gravity that draws it along the path of least resistance. When you align with this flow, when you learn to operate from the same principles that govern all natural processes, your life becomes an expression of grace rather than effort. Opportunities appear not because you are forcing them into existence, but because you are in harmony with the intelligence that is always creating opportunities. Solutions arise not because you are thinking harder, but because you are allowing the wisdom that knows all solutions to express through your awareness. This does not mean becoming passive or inactive. The tree grows actively toward the light. The river moves dynamically toward its destination. But their action comes from alignment with natural law rather than resistance to it. Your actions, when they arise from this same alignment, carry the power of the entire universe behind them, because they are expressions of universal intelligence, rather than products of personal struggle. Feel into this truth as it settles into your subconscious awareness. Notice how your body responds to the idea of effortless flow. Does your breathing deepen? Do your muscles relax? Does some tension you had not even noticed begin to release? This is your being recognizing what it has always known, that ease is your natural state, that struggle is optional, that the same intelligence that beats your heart can handle the complexities of your life with far greater skill than your worried mind. The intelligence of effortless flow speaks to you through intuition, through sudden insights, through doors that open just when you need them, through meetings that seem coincidental, but carry exactly the information or connection you require. It communicates through your body's wisdom, through sensations that guide you toward what nourishes your soul, and away from what depletes your energy. It whispers through the quiet voice that knows without explanation what choice will lead to your highest good. To access this intelligence more fully, you need only to practice the art of getting out of your own way. This means loosening your grip on how things should happen and remaining alert to how they are unfolding. It means trusting the timing of your life, even when it does not match your personal timeline. It means recognizing that detours are often shortcuts, that delays are sometimes protection, that what appears to be going wrong might actually be going perfectly right from a larger perspective. Your subconscious mind, as it receives these concepts now, is already beginning to reorganize your internal programming around this new understanding. Old patterns of forcing and striving are being gently dissolved, replaced by a deep knowing that you can trust the intelligence that has brought you this far to continue guiding you home to yourself. You are learning to dance with life rather than wrestle with it, to flow with circumstances rather than fight against them, to allow your path to unfold rather than demanding that it conform to your limited imagination. This is not surrender in the sense of giving up your dreams or abandoning your desires. This is surrender in the sense of recognizing that your deepest dreams and truest desires are also expressions of universal intelligence, and that the same force that planted them in your heart has already prepared the way for their fulfillment. You need only align with the flow and allow yourself to be carried toward everything that truly belongs to you. The intelligence of effortless flow is your birthright, your natural inheritance, your ticket to a life of grace and ease. It is operating through you right now in this very moment, adjusting every aspect of your being to create space for the miracles that are already on their way. The resonance of deep rest. In the cathedral of your being, there exists a sanctuary so quiet, so still, so perfectly at peace, that all the noise of the world cannot disturb its tranquility. This is the place of deep rest, not merely the absence of activity, but the presence of profound peace that exists at the very core of who you are. It is here in this sacred stillness that the most profound transformations occur, where healing happens at the speed of love, where insights arise like bubbles from the depths of an ancient well. You have been conditioned to believe that rest is earned through productivity, that peace must be achieved through effort, that stillness is a luxury you can afford only after all your tasks are complete. But this understanding has it backward. Deep rest is not the reward for a life well lived. It is the foundation from which a life worth living springs. It is not the destination you reach after you have solved all your problems. It is the place you must first inhabit in order to see your challenges clearly. The body knows this truth in its very cells. When you truly rest, when you sink below the surface of mental activity into the vast stillness that underlies all experience, your entire system begins to reorganize itself around wholeness. Stress hormones subside, allowing space for the chemistry of peace to flood your bloodstream. Your nervous system shifts from survival mode to thriving mode, from protection to creation, from fear to love. Your immune system strengthens, your digestion improves, your sleep deepens, your dreams become more vivid and meaningful. But the gifts of deep rest extend far beyond the physical. In the stillness, you remember who you are beneath the roles you play, the masks you wear, the stories you tell about yourself. You reconnect with the essence that existed before you learned to judge yourself, that will exist long after you stop seeking approval from others. You touch the place in yourself that is already healed, already whole, already perfect exactly as it is. This is why the greatest mystics and sages throughout history have pointed toward stillness as the gateway to enlightenment. They understood that answers do not come from thinking harder, but from thinking less. They knew that peace is not found by changing your circumstances, but by discovering the unchanging presence that observes all circumstances without being disturbed by them. They recognized that true power emerges not from effort, but from the deep rest that connects you to the source of all energy. As you rest here now, in this moment of perfect receptivity, you are accessing this ancient sanctuary within yourself. Your subconscious mind, freed from the need to analyze or understand, naturally gravitates toward this place of profound peace. It recognizes the resonance of deep rest as its natural home, the state from which all creativity, all insight, all transformation emerges. Feel yourself sinking deeper into this stillness now, not as an escape from your life, but as a return to the very source of life itself. This rest is not empty. It is full to overflowing with potential, with possibility, with the quiet joy that needs no reason to exist. It is not unconsciousness, it is superconsciousness, awareness so expanded that it includes everything while being disturbed by nothing. In this deep rest, programming that no longer serves you simply dissolves, not through struggle or effort, but through the gentle action of love, recognizing what belongs and what never belonged in the first place. Old patterns of stress and anxiety begin to melt away like ice in warm water. Limiting beliefs about what you can or cannot achieve start to evaporate like morning mist, touched by sunlight. The accumulated fatigue of years spent pushing against life rather than flowing with it begins to lift from your shoulders like a heavy coat you no longer need to wear. The resonance of deep rest also attunes you to the subtle frequencies of guidance that are always present but often obscured by the noise of a busy mind. In stillness, you can hear the whispers of your intuition more clearly. You can feel the gentle nudges that point you toward your next right action. You can sense the invisible threads that connect you to everything you need for your continued growth and happiness. This rest is not temporary. Even as you return to activity, even as you engage with the demands of daily life, you carry this sanctuary with you. You remember that beneath all the motion, all the noise, all the apparent complexity of existence, there is this place of perfect peace that can never be disturbed. You learn to live from this place, to act from this stillness, to speak from this silence. The resonance of deep rest is reprogramming your entire being now, at levels deeper than conscious thought can reach. It is reminding every cell, every molecule, every quantum of your existence that peace is your natural state. That rest is your birthright. That stillness is the foundation upon which all true action rests. Let yourself sink completely into this knowing now. Let the resonance of deep rest become the background music of your existence, the constant frequency upon which all the melodies of your life will play. The sacred waters of consciousness. Within you flows a substance more precious than gold, more powerful than any medicine, more transformative than any technology that human hands have ever created. This substance carries memory, holds information, responds to intention, and serves as the bridge between the physical and the metaphysical realms. It is water. Not merely the water that comprises 70% of your physical form, but the sacred water of consciousness itself, the fluid medium through which all healing, all knowing, all transformation flows. The ancients revered water as the source of all life, and they were speaking a truth far deeper than biology. Water does not simply sustain life. It is the very medium through which life communicates with itself. Every thought you think sends ripples through the water of your being. Every emotion you feel creates waves that travel through every cell, every organ, every system of your body. Every intention you hold crystallizes patterns in this sacred fluid that become the blueprint for your physical experience. Consider how water in nature moves. It does not resist the landscape it encounters, yet it has the power to carve canyons through solid rock. It does not fight against obstacles, yet it finds its way around every barrier. It always seeks the lowest place, yet it has the power to rise as mist to the highest peaks. Water teaches the perfect balance between receptivity and power, between yielding and persistence, between humility and strength. Your consciousness operates according to these same principles. When you resist what is, you create turbulence in the waters of your being, generating stress, tension, and dis-ease. But when you learn to flow like water, accepting what cannot be changed while persistently moving toward what serves your highest good, you discover a power that is both gentle and irresistible, both peaceful and transformative. The water within you remembers everything. It holds the memory of every joy you have experienced, every moment of peace you have touched, every instance of love you have felt or expressed. These positive imprints remain within the sacred waters of your being, ready to be activated through your attention, your gratitude, your conscious choice to align with the frequencies of well-being that have always been present within you. But water is also infinitely forgiving. It does not cling to the memory of pollution once it has been purified. It does not hold grudges against the substances that have temporarily clouded its clarity. The water of your consciousness possesses this same capacity for renewal, this same ability to return to its essential purity, regardless of what has passed through it. Every moment offers you the opportunity to refresh the waters of your being, to cleanse them with the pure intention of love, to restore them to their natural state of crystalline clarity. As you rest in this moment of deep receptivity, feel the waters of your consciousness beginning to clear. Old patterns of thought that have created turbulence are settling like sediment, allowing the natural clarity of your awareness to emerge. Emotional residues from past experiences are being gently washed away, not through force or effort, but through the simple recognition that they do not belong in the pure waters of your essential nature. The sacred water of consciousness also serves as your connection to the infinite ocean of universal wisdom. Just as every drop of water carries the same essential properties as the vast ocean from which it came, your individual consciousness carries within it all the wisdom, all the love, all the creative power of the infinite field of awareness from which you have emerged. You are not separate from this ocean. You are a temporary wave upon its surface, destined to return but never truly apart. This understanding transforms your relationship with knowledge and learning. You are not empty vessels seeking to be filled with information from outside sources. You are already complete libraries of wisdom, requiring only the right conditions to access what you have always contained. The sacred waters of your consciousness already hold every answer you seek, every solution you need, every insight that could guide you toward your highest fulfillment. As these concepts settle into the deepest layers of your awareness, Notice how your entire being responds to this recognition of your own sacred nature. The water within your cells begins to organize itself around patterns of greater harmony and coherence. Your blood flows more smoothly, carrying not just oxygen and nutrients, but also the frequency of remembrance to every corner of your physical form. Your lymphatic system activates its natural cleansing processes, clearing away not just physical toxins, but also energetic residues that no longer serve your evolution. The sacred waters of consciousness are also the medium through which healing travels. When you send love to any part of your body that feels less than perfect, that love travels through this inner ocean, carrying its restorative power directly to wherever it is needed. When you visualize yourself as healthy, vibrant, and whole, those images create ripples in the water of your being that begin to reorganize your physical experience around the template of perfect health. This is why the great healers throughout history have understood the power of blessing water, of infusing it with intention, of recognizing its capacity to carry and amplify the frequencies of healing and transformation. They knew that by working with water, they were working with the very substance through which consciousness expresses itself in physical form. Feel this sacred water flowing through you now, carrying with it all the blessings, all the healings, all the transformations that these words have awakened within you. Trust in its intelligence, its capacity to know exactly where to go and what to do. You do not need to direct this process with your mind. You need only to remain open, receptive, allowing the sacred waters of consciousness to do what they have always known how to do. The water of your being is being blessed now, purified now, restored to its original perfection now, and as it flows, it carries these blessings to every aspect of your life, creating the conditions for miracles to unfold naturally, effortlessly, in their own perfect timing. You are not just made of sacred water, you are sacred water, temporarily taking the form of a human being but never losing your essential nature as the fluid expression of infinite love, infinite wisdom, infinite possibility. The symphony continues. As these words find their completion, as this journey through the landscapes of your infinite nature draws to a close, remember that you are not ending something, you are beginning everything. You are not leaving this sanctuary of wisdom and returning to ordinary life. You are carrying this sanctuary with you, understanding that ordinary life has always been extraordinary, that the sacred has always been present in the mundane, that the divine has always been expressing itself through the human experience that is yours. The silent symphony that has been playing throughout this journey does not stop when the words cease. It continues in the rhythm of your breathing, in the beating of your heart, in the quiet spaces between your thoughts. It plays in your sleeping and your waking, in your working and your resting, in your speaking and your silence. You are both the conductor and the instrument, the composer and the song, the listener and the music itself. Every concept you have received, every truth that has resonated with your deepest knowing, every moment of recognition when you remembered what you had temporarily forgotten, all of this has been weaving itself into the fabric of your being at levels far deeper than conscious awareness. Your subconscious mind has been absorbing these frequencies of transformation, allowing them to reorganize your inner landscape according to patterns of wholeness, flow, and effortless creation. You do not need to remember every word, every metaphor, every insight that has been shared. The seeds of transformation have been planted in the fertile soil of your receptive awareness, and they will grow in their own perfect timing, sprouting into new ways of being, new patterns of response, new experiences of reality that align with the truth of who you really are. Trust in this process. Trust in the intelligence that has brought you this far and will continue to guide you home to yourself. The ancient memory that has been awakening within you will continue to inform your choices, your relationships, your understanding of what is possible in your life. The frequency of wholeness will keep broadcasting through your being, healing what appeared broken, illuminating what seemed dark, connecting what felt separate. The intelligence of effortless flow will become your natural operating system, allowing grace to replace struggle, ease to replace effort, trust to replace fear. And in those moments when you forget, and you will forget because you are human, and forgetting is part of the human experience, you need only return to the sanctuary of deep rest that you have rediscovered here. You need only tune back into the silent symphony that is always playing, always present, always ready to remind you of the truth that can never actually be lost, only temporarily obscured. You are more powerful than you have been taught to believe. You are more connected than you have been led to understand. You are more loved than you have dared to imagine. These are not pretty ideas meant to comfort you. These are the fundamental facts of your existence, the unshakable foundations upon which everything else is built. The symphony continues not because it must, but because it chooses to. And it chooses to because you are worth celebrating, worth expressing, worth the infinite creativity that keeps composing new movements, new themes, new variations on the eternal song of being itself. Rest now in this knowing. Sleep in this truth. Dream in this frequency. And when you wake, you will carry with you the memory of who you have always been, disguised as someone who is just beginning to remember what it means to be magnificently, authentically, infinitely you. The symphony continues, and you are its most beautiful movement. The journey never ends, and you are its most perfect expression. The love never stops, and you are its most miraculous manifestation. Rest now, beloved soul. Rest now and let the transformation continue its gentle, perfect work. The silent symphony plays on, and you are its greatest song.